Loved one, it's TJ. I am your self-healing wellness coach. I love to help you expand your mind, heal your body, and feed your soul. And if you have not checked out my energy testing of your food and supplements video that I just did before this, check that out first and then come back to this video. All right. What I want to also talk about when it comes to weight, a lot of people, and this is what I was sort of expounding on in the previous video, is that not everything, that they say is supposed to helps everybody, because if that was true, more people would not be struggling. Yes, weight loss is hard and things like that, but it's so much confusion around it, and it's painted with such a broad stroke on what needs to be done. Less energy in, more energy out. I remember somebody popping off telling me that, first of all, I might not look the part, but I can be a fitness trainer. I can be a trainer in the gym, but I don't look the part, and it's not something that I desire to do. However, I think that I do have a lane here when I can express that as hard as it was for me to see results, and as hard as it was to sustain what I was doing in order to see results, tells me that everything about that was incorrect. It took up most of my life. There was nothing else that I could do. That's all I did is I ate, slept, and drank. Fitness and health. That's not the life that I love. As a Sagittarius, I need to be doing different things. I can't be I'm bored. This gym thing is boring as it is. And it's just boring. And then I was eating the 5 and 6 times a day along with that. That is exhausting. And then I was drinking a gallon of water every single day. Distilled water. Every single day, a whole gallon, turning it up every day. And I would be done by 2 p.m. and thirsty by 4. Okay. And so I knew exactly what to do for that particular technique. And there are so many ways to do it that work. So it's not to say that it doesn't, but it doesn't work the same for every physical body. The other thing is sometimes people hold on to extra physical weight because there's a psychological thing going on. Are you a caregiver and are you holding weight in your middle section because you're taking on those energies from the person or people that you're caring for? Because you don't know that there are ways that you can protect yourself, or shield yourself from taking on the excess energy. There is protocol where you can release other people's energies from you. You might not know that being, a caregiver. You're just going in helping other people. You might not understand. Are you stressed? Are you stressed out? A lot of times people don't realize that they're stressed out, and the body is going into fight, flight, freeze. And the body is going to hold on to that extra weight because it feels like it needs to protect itself. That's what it's meant to do. This body that we have is a dynamic. It is, I'll say cutting edge. It is the bomb, so it does the thing that it needs to do in order to survive. So if it's in fight, flight, freeze, and your central nervous system and that mechanism is going in the background, even when it's not appropriate, even when you're just relaxing, you are going to hold on to that extra weight. Why is it difficult to lose the belly fat first? Because historically, when we were out hunting and gathering and things, that fat, that layer is there to protect the organs that are behind it. Okay, so that's going to be the last thing that leaves. And then if you're a woman, then there's those other things that come into place, the hormones and all of that. And I'll be honest, our physical bodies have not advanced as quickly as the food industry and the stressors that come from society and the outside world. So the body is, I would say, sort of like ancient in a modern environment, if you will. So those are things to consider. Also, is there something that happened in the past? Are you holding on to excess weight, excess fat because something happened in your childhood, and your body is, again, you feel psychologically you have to have the extra padding to hold on to it. Were you hurt multiple times in relationships? Was someone putting their hands on you? Or was it something that's ancestral? It could be something ancestral, not necessarily something that comes from, like hereditary. How some people think that, okay, if you're overweight, you look at the family and it's hereditary. That's the case sometimes, but definitely not all the time. In my case, I don't feel that is true. Okay. Just from paying attention and looking at all of the lineage and the other pieces of the background, and traumas and things that might have come into play in other people's lives. However, there is epigenetics that could say, there were some traumas that happened maybe while you were in the womb, or that might have happened to one of your parents before, when they were younger, that could have passed on to you, that don't belong to you, things that don't belong to you, some energy blockages or whatever. So there are certain, several things, and a lot of folks, who don't know, who are not really, they're not really considering all the things. They just look at you and be like, you're fat, stop eating, exercise, and then that's it. And typically it comes from people who have not been in these shoes. All right. So I just wanted to share those pieces with you as well, because people stress out about not being able to lose weight. First of all, not every physical body is meant to be a size 7 or 4 or 10 or 20 or it's case by case. So if your best physical self, your most balanced self, is a size 14, then that's the size you are meant to be. And that's what actually I had run into when I kept trying to run up this hill to lose this extra 5 to 10 pounds. And remember I mentioned the 5 pounds that only was on, that I had, that I felt was like my smallest weight. They came back in 2 days because my body wasn't meant to be that much smaller. Even though I was plus size, I was right. I was medium at the top, and I think a size 14 at the bottom, very shapely, yet still unhappy. I had balance, like I could move, I was agile, and all of the things, but I was still unhappy. Now, what was that about? At some point along the way, when I stopped going to the gym and things like that, I woke up one day and was like, I love my size. I had started picking up weight, but I was like, I really love, wait a minute, I love myself. I love myself. And I didn't allow my weight. I never allowed my weight to stop me from doing the things that I wanted to do. Like the homecoming queen thing. And like when I was in junior high school, I did drill team, and we had the uniforms were terrible. We had to use the cheerleader skirts, and I was very self-conscious, but I wore that skirt anyway because it was more important to me to be on the drill team than to not wear the skirt. Now, bikinis and stuff like that, no, it was not a thing. I think I was like 4 when I had my first and last bikini. And a bathing suit, I've worn them. Don't love it, but hey, I got myself in the water. That was another thing that I started doing when I got sick of going to the actual gym. I went to the YWCA. And I did aqua aerobics, and then I carried that over, till later. It was really the best thing, but they kept closing these YMCAs and YWCAs around me, so I stopped going. But but I said all that to say, make sure that you don't beat yourself up when things don't work out. Make sure you don't beat yourself up when you decide to slip or cheat. I don't believe in the diet thing. If you eat well enough, you will be satiated. If you eat all of the fruit and vegetables that your body needs, the nutrition that your body needs, you will be satiated, and you will it's more about what you eat versus what you don't eat. If you arm yourself with more of the good stuff, more of the things that do not cause inflammation in your body, then your body will be able to function well. And when you decide to have that piece of cake, your body will be able to, it already has the other stuff that it needs to properly metabolize the cake. All right. Okay, like I said, I have my creds down in the description. I can't remember them, so I'm just putting them in the description for you if you are interested in that stuff. And we will chit chat about this more if this is something that interests you. Until the next video, live simply and be kind.